Hey, folks. Uwe Boll is a legendary filmmaker. He has a reputation of speaking his mind and giving no fucks. Let's be honest. He has he's a couple films that are upcoming, and I think he was recently at AFM. I was there, and I'm pretty sure he was there because I saw some critics with black eyes. So I got to ask him about that. Let's welcome to the show, Uwe Boll.
Hi.
Uwe,
Hey,
how are you, sir?
I'm almost asleep. We have 11 o'clock in Germany.
Yeah. So how was AFM for you? You were there.
I mean, it was good. I think the location was very good. It worked out well with the AMC theater directly around the block, and I like that. We showed Citizen Vigilante screening with Armie Hammer, like a very hard, let's say the harder John Wick Equalizer version, very brutal. I was there with various films. My film Run with Amanda Plummer, James Russo, Ulrich Thompson, and others is right now out in streaming. So you have it on Apple and whatever, Amazon, I think 10 different Fandango right now. So hopefully you guys checking it out. I think it's a good movie, and it's about an action drama about the migration crisis in Europe, where there are boat people coming in always, and in a way we show, I think, all sides to it. People dying on the way over, they get killed on the boat, thrown overboard, then they arrive, and then every boatload you have people, they just want a better life, but you have also people, they maybe are criminals and they are a danger. And so we basically show one day in that Italian holiday island what escalates. So, where a guy takes a hostage, and it's a huge attack in the end also on that migration camp. And I did that on purpose. For me, when you look into movies, they try, and I think we're so polarized, right? So the movies normally try to show migrants are the best what can ever happen, and they're peaceful and they want a better life. And it's true for most of them. But unfortunately, since we get mass migration from Africa into Europe, you can say that specific crimes exploded. Like gang rapes, knife stabbings, people running amok. That's enormously, like over 10,000% more violent street crimes since 2015. So, and of course, in Europe, nobody would ever make a movie like what I did, where I show the situation as a lose-lose situation. They are like, that's the reason the German TV didn't board it. It's like, they're like, oh, you cannot do that, you cannot do that. And I said, yeah, but that's the facts. I show the facts. I mean, sorry, but if you let more and more people in from a totally different culture, where violence is basically the daily routine, and where also women don't mean anything, so, and now they're seeing women in miniskirts, they grab them and rape them. So, I mean, it's crazy, but that's the fact. And so, I feel like it was time to do a film, a feature, and not a documentary, putting that in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's a hot topic. I see a lot of people on YouTube reporting about this. We don't get anything in the mainstream media. It's all the everything is perfect, can do no wrong. But you look at reality, look at crime stats. I hear in Germany it's out of control. It's a real issue. In certain parts of Germany, women can't really just go out and walk alone. It's a problem. So I have the trailer for Run queued up if you'd like to show it, and we'll talk about it.
Totally.
Yeah, let's watch the trailer together here. Here we go.
Tourist?
No. American?
American.
Ciao.
Another goddamn boat.
Makes 4 a week now. Never thought it would get this bad.
Yeah, well, it is bad.
A state of emergency was announced this week.
Arriving one after the other.
This is the first port of call for those fleeing North Africa. They attempt to make their way further into Europe.
They rob, they steal, they rape.
Asylum seeker. Asylum seeker.
Never heard this before.
It's okay.
No police.
Come on in.
I'm so happy.
I'm safe.
I can pick you up in 1 hour when my shift is over.
How long you are on the boat for?
2 days.
Where you come from?
Come from Somalia.
You need to get a little bit more involved in your work, I think.
I take care of here. I cannot take care of the water.
Selena, we have to go.
They are here. Immigration. Go to the storage.
You are illegal. You have to take your life in your own hands.
Okay, do you have ID?
Slow down.
Come with me.
I have 200 euro. Just take it.
Do you know what this is? It's called a bribe. This is criminal.
Doesn't anybody care about this town? It's going to hell.
I want friends! Please leave him alone! Please put down the knife.
Everybody saw what happened. I was just trying to save the boy.
This is out of my hands.
Am I under arrest?
She killed the guy from behind. I want my daughter back. And you got till 9 o'clock.
I think it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse.
I did not bring the boat here. This is not me that did this.
What do we do now?
Damn, Uwe, I did not expect that. And you got the Academy Award nominee, the I don't know his name, the I am the captain now guy. You got that guy.
Bakat Apti, right? So
Yeah.
Captain Phillips.
He's great.
Yeah, and Marcus Henderson from Django and Get Out. A great cast overall. They all really wanted to, for not a lot of money, like really do this. And it was good because we basically, in a way, owned that whole town. We shot in April. It was not so touristic season. And all the actors stayed the whole show. All the extras, also the Africans, they stayed the whole show. We stayed all in one big hotel. And it was great to shoot because we could walk everywhere, right? So it's like everything placed basically in walkable distance. So we didn't have like catering trucks. We just went back to the hotel for lunch and went back to shooting. So that was great. And everybody see it like we totally understand that people want a better life and want to get into Europe or want to get into the US. That's 100%. But the society can only take so much. And so without changing the society totally. I think we see it already in UK now that it goes completely in the wrong direction. You know, if you have like 3 secretaries of, I think, the education of interior, they look like Osama bin Laden. I mean, you know, like where you feel like that's not the culture we have. If you go in a different country, I think you need to accept the laws there and the culture there, and you cannot just bring your shit there. I mean, you run away from your problems,
Right.
and now you don't want to adjust to the country you want to come in, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I have but for me, the where I draw the line is the whole Islamistic Sharia law, this kind of stuff, where, you know, where that's the end for me. I have nothing against Muslims, nothing against any religion, any culture, country, race, skin color. I don't care. And I work with everybody in the movies together. But if you go somewhere and you put like whatever the Sharia law above the law, then you leave that country.
Well, it's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, in Hamtramck, where I'm from. that has been a real issue. I'm just, first of all, it's a hot button topic. You give no F's. I mean, I've seen you do Q&As at screenings. I've interviewed you before. Are you getting any pushback, or how are people reacting to you having done this? We have a lot of people that have questions for you too, but
or better, are you getting the response that you thought you would get?
Yeah. What's the response been?
No, it's a mix, right? So I got positive response for the movie so far. I think the movie is not like a total right-wing movie or something like this. I think a lot of people who watch it, they see, for example, the Amanda Plummer part where she tries to save the pregnant woman, right? So there is sympathy for the people. On the political level, I'm very outspoken that, as I just said, what I said, that is where I think in Germany, the Green Party, Left Party, are more or less in the government here for a long time, and I think they have like, they're living in a balloony world. They don't see the reality, what's going on. A friend of mine, a woman, she's Jewish, and she lives in Berlin, and she got knocked out in a bus last week, because the people saw her like the thing, the Jewish star, right? So on the chain, and then the Syrian guy just hit her straight in the face. So, and I mean, there are two things to it, right? How can you do it to a woman? I mean, where's your honor as a man and stuff like this? I think that's absolutely insane. But all of this stuff has no consequences. That's the other problem. That is why I did Citizen Vigilante. It's kind of that movie. What is the way harder version, where Armie Hammer goes after rapists. He goes after, like Charles Bronson in New York. So he's like not taking this absurd also judges. We have like tons of people, they're getting off the hook, they're not getting into jail, even if they do mass rapes, and then you do whatever, you insult the president and you get six months prison term for an insult. That's happening in Europe. And
I just heard about a case today where someone it was kind of a light criticism of the German government, and they had their cell phones taken away, all their technology. They had their DNA taken. It was weird, just from making comments, being critical of the government online. It's out of control. And the fact that the mainstream media, like in the US and overseas too, in Germany, it's kind of covers it up. The people can see with their own eyes what's happening. And it's a very nuanced issue. As you pointed out in your film Run, you see different sides of the equation, but you can't ignore the negative.
Absolutely. And it's for me, it's almost like a fascism from the left, this kind of where they try to they censor you. We have in Germany a thing, trusted flagger. That means like people are trusted by the government who can flag you. Like that they say, oh, that guy makes too much controversial stuff. For example, on X in Germany, I'm shadow banned. I don't know why, right? I don't think Elon Musk did it. Maybe they can do that in Germany too. They didn't like the content, so I'm shadow banned. I even Twittered to Elon Musk about it. I mean, of course, no answer, but I said, look, you run on free speech. And to be honest, what I say is basically what he likes. And it's not that I'm so far away political from the stuff Elon Musk says, and I'm still shadow banned. So the question is, who did that? Who can do this? I assume the local governments, that they have the power to go into social media and shut you up or whatever. And that's the thing. I mean, for me, freedom of like art, speech, press, that's democracy. And you have to hold to this, and you have to also accept people. They have the totally different opinion, and people, they say you're a fucking scumbag. I got insulted all my career, but I would never thinking that I should file a lawsuit against somebody who insults me. That's childish, So, and I feel that's not the way to handle it. I mean that's it's a big topic, but that is why I did the movie. I'm I was tired to do or to watch a lot of movies. I think it's like redundant now where we have that invasion of films coming through the streaming. Like on Netflix, a lot of times I'm on Netflix and I just cannot find anything what I really want to watch. You go and go and go and you think, oh no, and then you watch that 30 seconds trailer and you think, I watched this show 100 times with other actors.
Right.
I want it. And like original stuff, Run is a real original movie, where you have a realistic scenario, you have great actors. And for example, Netflix passed on it already. They don't want to buy it. Amazon passed on it. They don't want to buy it. And I think because they don't want to be politically incorrect. And, and that's kind of the opposite to what should happen. And we have so many, I'm sure you guys also have so many discussions about a movie like Apocalypse Now, The Deer Hunter, all this stuff would never be shot again.
Yeah. Maybe with Netflix, you needed to add more positive gay characters. You need a lot more gay, Uwe.
Yeah.
Because the algorithm tells them so.
Yeah. So we have a lot of questions in our chat. A lot of people want to comment.
Actually, I just wanted to ask a follow-up question, but are you running into the same issue having Armie Hammer in your next movie as you are with this? Because I think he's still somewhat canceled here in the United States.
Yeah, but look, I saw him at Bill Maher at the talk show Club Random. And then he explained his whole situation, right? But basically that he betrayed his wife. He had like kinky sex, like bondage sex, whatever. He took drugs. He was off the charts, but he didn't do any crime.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they canceled him because there was a moral cancellation, like, oh, he's a fucking, like, whatever, But the reality is when you look at deeper, I think he got very early married, very early kids, and then he turned to a big superstar, and he looks like a superstar, and he's a very good actor. So he never had his party time, and then he went out and betrayed the wife and took the drugs and did the whole movie star thing. And then they got all jealous on each other and started killing him in the internet.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, everything you described Armie Hammer did was like a typical day in Berlin. That was just a normal Berlin party.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah. Let's go to the comments. There's so many comments from people. Let's see. Michael Bisping says, God bless Germany. Uwe, you're a legend. Alan, if you would take over. So many questions here. Good one.
Yeah, from ADLS24. During your hiatus, you were a restaurateur. How did it compare to your directing career? What lessons did you take back into filmmaking, and whatever happened to your planned Toronto Bauhaus?
I keep it with Roland Emmerich. He said in an interview, the worst thing he ever did was to open a restaurant in LA. So I'm I think my restaurant was a little better as his and more successful. We were like on CNN in the top 10 in America, and I had a Michelin star chef. But the reality is, a restaurant is a never-ending film shoot. It's like it never ends. The show The Bear, at least in the first season of The Bear, it really showed a lot of things what happened to us when you renovate a place before you open, all this shit. And then you have to be there basically every day, or the staff will steal, drink the bar, and you have so many problems with the staff. And I love restaurants. I love good wine. I had a wine club there and stuff like this. But when Corona hit, 2020, basically, we closed down. And I felt like I'm not doing it to shut down and keep paying rent and everything. So we went out, and then we moved from Vancouver to Germany. And I'm kind of miss it, but I also don't miss it. If I miss a restaurant, I go and eat in a restaurant. So, and then I started making movies again, what is good. And, we have a lot of good things, like First Shift was a big hit on Paramount Plus, that 20 weeks in the top 10, that cop show from New York. We shot 2 more movies for this in September in New York. We're in post-production. And of course, the driven things like Run or Citizen Vigilante. I don't know, like we got 2 offers for the US for Citizen Vigilante. So I think Armie Hammer comes back, and he deserves to come back. And I think also, look, he's 39. You cannot seriously say he can never work again. That's ridiculous. I mean, you know, he was not like Harvey Weinstein or something. It was the time where everybody got canceled for nothing.
Yeah. So many comments here. Here we go. Get to as many as we can.
All right, Matthew Hammond for 2. How is distributing the movie, and was it censored? Were you under pressure to censor?
The run was a tough sale in the US, Canada, and UK. It's Quiver. In the rest of the world, Middle East was sold, to my big surprise. And then it was it's just on Amazon, Apple, Fandango, Google Play, on all these things, but it doesn't got a real deal, you know, like a real paid deal from a streamer or something. So we are really living on people just rent it and pay $3.99 or $4.99 to watch the movie now. So hopefully a lot of people will do that.
Yeah,
more
it's on
comments
Amazon
here.
Prime. You can rent it there. Caravaggio, a filmmaker who is willing to tackle the real issues, a rare thing today.
Yeah, you know, and I felt, look, I did The Sound on Wall Street after 2008, and, you know, Dominic Purcell went after the bankers who got off free. I did Attack on Darfur when that Sudanese, the massacres happened. And now they happen again. I mean, it's a very good film with Billy Zane and so on. Besides the video game-based, more fun movies like House of the Dead and so on, I always did political-driven stuff in between about real problems on the planet. And and I feel like I like just movies for entertainment, but I also like movies that are like really making you think about the subject matter and bringing people to discuss it, like what we're doing. You know, like this, I think it's also important. A lot of films are so lifeless, you know, like, you know, whatever. Like I just watched that Frankenstein movie on Netflix, and when you read all about this, you think it's the most important movie of the world, and then you watch it and you are aware, no, it's just an expensive science fiction kind of bullshit movie where it has no meaning. It's not a deeper meaning to Frankenstein, you know. But Run is about what's happening right now. That's an interesting thing, you know. Yeah.
Well, I prefer the way you say Frankenstein. It's much better. Much better.
You know that the castle Frankenstein is 50 kilometers away from Frankfurt here. It's the original castle. There was a guy, his name was Frankenstein, and it's written at the castle like he was supposed, like Towner said, he's experimenting with dead bodies. So there was basically the original is outside of it, and you can go there and visit it, and it's all like in the stones at the castle written that the people were very suspicious of him, what he was doing.
Uncle Pappy Wolf for 2. Are you afraid of retaliation from the government radicals? Or Gov-OR? I don't know if that means something.
Government or radicals.
Okay.
Not really. You know, I mean, if I would be afraid, I would maybe never made a film. So, you know, it's kind of like, I don't think you should be afraid of something you put out there where you feel that's a good and important film, and then you stick with it, you know. So, I mean, I got hate mail since I make movies and threats and all kinds of stuff. And it is what it is. You have to live with it.
At the same time, you've got to make a movie you can stand up for. And
totally. You know, yeah, totally.
Caveat Ties, do you consider scripts or do you write everything yourself?
No, it's a mix. I am not writing everything myself. Like Run and Citizen Vigilante, I wrote myself. A lot of more entertaining stuff and video game stuff I didn't wrote myself. So I have to, like, I'm a slow writer. You know, I'm not Taylor Sheridan and can write a script in a day. So, and I really need to be like really deep into something to write a whole script, you know? So, yeah.
All right, Uncle Pappy Wolf for 5 as well. How much freedom do you have as a filmmaker in Germany versus the US to say what you want to say politically? Is it less woke and must cast a certain way?
Yeah, no, like woke. What do you think about woke to add to that?
Yeah, So first of all, I think the US is better as Germany. It's more free. I also always, my movies were the most successful in the US in comparison to Germany. I get in Germany absolutely no support from the TV or the subsidy stations. That's the reason mostly I shoot outside of Germany also. So I have no real political support here or whatever. In the US, I think I have, I think that the overall idea of like freedom of speech is in the US way bigger as in Europe. It's less censored. But when it comes to movie producing, as you said, I think the US, like decision makers in the studios or in the streamers, they are very left and woke, most of them. You know, they're very, as you said, with the LGBTQ and all that stuff. And then the unions are horrible in the US. For independent filmmakers, it's just horrible. You know, it's just, since Alec Baldwin had that the thing on set where he shot by accident the camera woman, you cannot shoot a blank anymore without having like 100 security meetings and stuff. You know, like, I mean, it's just insane. And that's a big problem, I think, in the US, is this over-regulations of everything. You know, and they try to, even film crews, a lot of them, it's like, let's try to get a meal penalty. You know, oh, I'm in overtime. You know, like stuff like this. It's that's hard. That's really annoying. You know, so yeah. But overall, I think the freedom of speech in the US is freer as in Europe, where they can get you for like, you know, if somebody doesn't like what I say, he can sue me. Just, you know, and like, oh, that was an insult. I want $5,000 from you, you know, and it's total bullshit. But then you have legal costs. Yeah.
All right. Caveat ties. How do you go about finding your crew, and do you have your own people? You've been at it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, look, I use in Europe, my camera crew is always the same, you can say. Like also when I shot in New York, I brought 5 guys from Germany. But now the first shift 2 and 3, when we shot in September, we had a very good crew because we also handpicked everybody and had long talks with everybody, you know, and saying, look, if you make an independent movie, you cannot like act when you grip or whatever your function is, like you work on CSI or something, right? So you need to give it a little leeway here and don't have the clock ticking as soon you get out of the bed. So, and I'm very happy because we got a lot of people, they saw that more from the independent film world joined forces with us. And so it worked this time very well in New York, I have to say. So, yeah, but I try to work, like, for example, in post-production, Easton Manikis, the editor from Robert Rodriguez, who did Sin City, From Dusk to Dawn, and all that stuff, he cut it with Citizen Vigilante, Run, and also First Shift. So I love working with him, you know, because he has also this kind of, he's used to do more action-orientated, dramatic stuff. And I mean, you saw the trailer. It's good editing. You know, he's really good.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. A.D. Ellis, with a history in adapting video games into film, now that major studios are attempting to adapt games, have you seen any that you enjoy? And is there one property you wish you had gotten to adapt?
Of course. Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, wow. That would have been great.
Yeah,
that would be great.
I hoped after I did Postal that they would give me a shot, you know, because I know that the Grand Theft Auto guys would love Postal, and in a way, it's a little similar, like this kind of violence, you know, a cynicism, humor in it. That was like my dream to do. At one point I had Baldur's Gate also and couldn't make the movie. And I had, at that point where I shot with Jason Statham, he wanted to do Hitman. And they didn't give me the rights. And then they did Hitman with that, was it Timothy Olyphant, right? I think played Hitman. I think Jason Statham would be the better Hitman. So but I'm happy with. In a way, I was kind of the front runner because I did like House of Dead, Alone in the Dark, Bloodrayne, Far Cry, a lot of movies in a short-term period. And now when I heard they wanted to do the new House of the Dead, they want to do a new one, I called all the cast from my House of the Dead, and they all want to come back. And I said, let's do 23 years later, Return to Zombie Island. Like a homage to the old one. And and being a stinker with real effects, with real blood effects, against this $50 million CGI orgies they will do with the Paul Anderson from Resident Evil. So I'm looking forward to get that movie made, basically.
What the movie with Armie Hammer, Vigilante, was that originally called The Dark Knight?
Yeah. Was
there an issue with that with DC? Yeah. Did you change the name based on that, or?
Yeah, because Warner Brothers threatened to sue me.
Yeah,
I got a nice letter. They stayed nice, but because I said go on IMDb. There's another Dark Knight movie. It's not Batman, and I said in general, how can you protect the Dark Knight?
Yeah,
it's just like the Dark Knight. You can also say the White Knight or the Red Knight. How can you protect something like this? And they said it's so connected to Batman that it will be a misinterpretation. And if they don't want to, they said, we don't want to make you problems, but we will make you problems if you don't change the title. So I changed the title, and I don't want that stress. You print the photos, you finish the movie, you put Dark Knight on, and in the very end you have to redo it. Then it was better to find a different title.
Yeah. Uwe, thank you so much for being here on the show today. Run is out now. You can find it on Amazon, on VOD. I think it's amazing that you've delved into that topic. I hope other filmmakers are encouraged. No topic like that is off limits. It looks like a fun action movie that's got layers to it, and I'm really impressed. Come back when your next movie comes out. Really just always enjoy having you on the show.
Yes, I come back with Armie Hammer. So
yes, come back with Armie Hammer. Hit me up.
We would love to have him on.
We'll have Armie Hammer on. We'll do it.
Absolutely.
Love it. All right, Uwe, have a great rest of your night. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye now. Bye.